Welcome back to another episode of the Big DK Energy Podcast. My name is Danny K, or the DK in the Big DK Energy. So I bring on cool people to teach us all a lesson in some kind of field or just some area of life. And so today's topic is media and content creation. So helping us with that today is this gentleman. He hails all the way from Jacksonville and is currently the owner of Varnes Media. And when he's not doing media work, he is a huge Jacksonville Jaguar and absolutely tearing up YouTube. So we're going to find out more about his journey, and he's going to give us a tip or two if you want to get into the realm of content creation. So without further ado, please help me in welcoming today's guest, Mr. Andy Varnes.
Man, thank you for having me on. Man, what an intro. I like that. That was an awesome intro. Like right off the cuff and everything too.
Exactly, man. You know, all my guests I think are cool, so they deserve cool intros. Speaking about off the cuff, I looked at your Instagram. It seems like a lot of your beginning work or work that you still do now, I assume, is sports, right?
Yeah. So the way I got started into everything was sneaking into sport games. So, yeah, it was, when I moved back to Jacksonville, a family friend, she reached out and said, hey, can you come get some pictures of our son and everything? We just need some stuff for the yearbook. And so I went out there and I'm shooting the game. And then it just so happens that the team that they're playing against asked me, they're saying, hey, who are you shooting for? Can you get some pictures of us? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I'm out here, nothing else
Why
to do.
Not, right?
So yeah, that was kind of how everything started. And kids just kind of started asking me to come to their games to get photos of them. And now it's a pretty big deal in Jacksonville, but a couple of years ago, that really wasn't the case. So it was really kind of hard to kind of get started on everything. So I'd print out these fake media passes and I'd laminate it so it looked all official. And that's how I got started on everything. I'd kind of sneak onto all these different football fields and basketball courts on everything. So it was a good time.
Wow, that's literally a baller move. But that's awesome that you got that little domino effect of like referrals coming in just from that one shoot. It's amazing what can happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, luckily for me with sports is that, okay, you meet a new team every single week. So I'm shooting for this one team. Well, they're playing against another team. I can easily shoot for both teams at the same time in a lot of ways.
Oh, 100%.
You just kind of follow the ball and get the action. And in all honesty, a lot of the times it was like, the team that brought me out was getting beat by like 40 points. So it definitely helped to be shooting for the other team and get them a few photos as well.
Exactly. Just aim for the players, not the scoreboard. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Just make it look good.
That's all you need. Just, you're there for the action, not for, the result. But I actually remember when I was in sometime in high school. I think it was junior year. Anyway, I played a hockey tournament, and I remember one of the parents taking photos of me just off to the side, and he sent them to me, and I was like, wow, these are so freaking cool.
Yeah, they love them. And, I mean, you get so much appreciation for them because it just makes the kids feel special. It makes them feel like they're
legit.
Yeah, like they're a legit athlete. Even to the point where it's, like, annoying because, they're, like, as soon as the game's over, they're like, did you get any pictures of me? It's like, I haven't even gotten home yet. Give me a little second.
I know that feeling definitely because during college, that's when I started becoming a photographer, and people loved what they could post on Instagram. So I kind of describe being a photographer kind of like being a drug dealer because you give a really good product to the point where as soon as you have it, people are blowing you up, including weird times of the night. It's like, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So have you always had a camera in your hand, like since like you were young, or like when did that start?
No, I didn't put a camera in my hand until I was about 19 years old, in all honesty.
And how old are you now?
I'm 24.
Okay.
So I'm going on about 5 years. I just turned 24 about a month ago on everything.
Damn, that's my entire college career.
So same here. I didn't even finish college though. So you at least beat me on that. But yeah. So
you got a business, so look at that.
We're trying. So but yeah, the way I got started and everything was I was up at the school that I was at to attempt to play college basketball. If you look at me though, I'm a short, unathletic white boy. So
well, I'm
obviously
I'm a short, unathletic half white boy. So I'm right there with you.
I know the struggle's real. So obviously my college basketball career did not last very long. Got hurt pretty quickly, but I got an opportunity to stay around the team and kind of do some photos for them, do kind of more of like a manager role on everything for the following season. And it was awesome. I got to learn, kind of a whole new skill set. And it was kind of the first time that I was kind of falling in love with something that was outside of, some sort of sport. That was something to where, okay, I can still get creative with it and still have just kind of a blast in that sort of field.
Well, I'm glad you found that love for something. Like, what was the moment that you realized, wow, this is it?
Dang, I don't know if I necessarily had a moment. I just knew that if there was a way that I could make money with a camera and make it a full-time living, I'm going to work as hard as I can to make that happen. And it just kind of started doing this like compound effect. Now kids are making like $300, $400 for a game because they can just shoot their prices up. I was charging like $5 a player. So I would come out making between like $50 to $70 a game. But what I would do is, okay, that means there's middle school games on Tuesday nights, there's JV games on Thursday nights, there's high school games on Friday nights, and then there's like recreational games on Saturdays. So that was 4 days a week that I could be making between $50 to $75, and as a part-time job, that was pretty awesome. And it just kind of slowly scaled from that. It was just kind of just building this network of saying, all right, I'm starting to get some traction. This may be legit. We'll see if it happens. Most likely it's not going to happen. Most likely it's not going to happen. And eventually you kind of got to a point to where you're saying, all right, I just got to jump in and see what happens.
Excellent. And look where you are 5 years later.
Yeah, it's so we started Varnes Media Company at the end of 2019. And yeah, we tried going right into 2020, right into the pandemic on everything. But now we just started 2023, completely kind of switched our company around to where we're just a content creation agency, not necessarily a photography, videography company anymore. We work heavily in social media, and we've just been able to grow and scale it.
And to the point where you even have a studio, is that correct?
Yeah, so we opened up the studio last March. I had a studio beforehand, and it was a little bit smaller, and it was kind of far away in like a warehouse. But I learned a lot about all the issues of running a studio and all the expenses on everything. So I was able to do it a little bit cleaner this time around. But I'm telling you, the amount of effort that it took to kind of get it up and running, and still all the mistakes that I'm still making figuring out how to run the studio and everything. And that was partial of why I wanted to make a YouTube channel, was to showcase people some mistakes that I've made, because when I was on YouTube trying to figure out how to start something from nothing, the videos weren't on there. It was like, okay, how we went right to $100,000, and they started that when they're a $500,000 company. It was like, well, I'm so far behind on that, I can't even take the value they're giving.
That's quite a lot. I will say that. And speaking of it being a lot, if someone wanted to start building a podcast studio or any kind of studio of some sort, what are the first items that they should worry about? Is it rent? Is it...
So you're saying, all right, I want to build a studio to where it's like a specific location, you want to make money from it, or you want to start it to start your own podcast? Because I think there's two different ways to go about it.
I'm going the way that you would go about it. So for content creation.
Okay, so content creation, and that's kind of what I did, to where I was like, I got to pay rent somehow. So how can I use a room on everything? So first thing that I did was obviously buy specific equipment for, and it was kind of the recording equipment. And with that, it really depends on what your budget is right there. In all honesty, for like $300, you can get a pretty decent setup. You can either use Rode mics, or you can find, some pretty decent mics for $100, find some cords for $20, and then essentially all you basically need is some sort of output on everything, and you could find one used for like maybe $100. So give or take that on kind of the audio equipment on everything. The stuff that I got, it was called the Pod Track, and then I got some Zoom mics, and now we have some Shure mics on everything.
Shure's great.
Yeah, Shure's awesome on everything. I still love the Zooms, but I mean, I know the first ones we got was a Pod Track, which is basically like the output that you can use to record everything. Mm-hmm. The cables, and then the mics. I think we got 4 mics, the cables, the Pod Track. It was like for like $1,100. So that would be kind of the first thing. And so then all of a sudden you can have 4 people in a room talking on everything. From there, you want to get some cameras on everything. And
do you need the most expensive cameras in order to make a great show?
Absolutely not, man. If you can spend $75 to $100 on getting some good lighting, you don't need near as good of cameras. Like if you have good lighting, then that's going to help your camera so much in that quality of recording.
It's amazing what lighting can do, because you can bump your ISO as high as you possibly can, but still, if it's like barely showing, you're not going to get the shot. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, and especially like the higher you go, the grainier it's going to get. So, with that being said, okay, like I don't know how much was your lighting set up to get. I mean, you basically, if you can't see see it, but he's got kind of a 2-light setup on everything, and then his, and then just like regular like room lights.
I think I got both of these lights for like $100.
Yeah.
Under $100 or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. And the lighting looks good on everything. So if you put a little bit of money into lighting, you don't need to get $1,000 camera, in all honesty. You can kind of get something much more budget friendly, even an iPhone, in all honesty, when you're getting started.
This is fair. Yeah, the iPhone has been improving in quality, and it's funny because I put up a post. It showed like a whole Hollywood production studio, and it said client's expectation, and then it showed an iPhone on a little tripod, and then it said client's budget.
Yeah.
And so, do you ever feel like you've been fleeced by a client just because of that expectation versus what they were paying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you first get started on everything, you can't even think about it as fleece. You just got to think about it just like lessons, because you just got to show some work at the very beginning. But yeah, the amount of projects to where any other company, they'd be charging thousands of dollars, and I'm doing it for like 500 maybe. Like, I'm talking, I got probably a dozen different stories, along those lines. But the way you have to look at it is that's what they can afford, and if you aren't busy enough to turn that work away, that's what you're worth, to where that's what the client sees that you're worth, and that's what the client can afford. And in all honesty, if they could afford more, then they might be going to somebody else.
I mean, that is a good point. But then again, at the same time, not saying that this is okay for all stages of your media journey, but not yours. I'm just saying in general. Of course, at the beginning, you got to do some work for free, but that's kind of the name of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a really, really big component of you got to showcase that work for first, and society and kind of the work profession is going to let you know how much they value your work on everything. To where if you can't find any work, then that means one of two things: it's not good enough, or that you're not putting your work out there enough on everything. And if you're not putting your work out there on everything, then that just means you got to put more work out, which is pretty simple, which, people will ask me how I can kind of showcase it. That as creators, I'm a big component is like, we don't have to pay for any marketing. All we got to do is to do a shoot, and then suddenly we've essentially paid with our time for marketing, because they're going to be posting that and showcasing that and showcasing our work for us.
That's right. Wait, who's doing the marketing? We are the marketing.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it just kind of sucks that, as a fellow content creator, it just seems like even though people are wowed at what we do, it's like at the same time they don't see value in it. Do you see what I mean when I say that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. To where they don't see the reason why it should be costing thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars, when they're saying, oh, I can get the exact same shot on my iPhone. And it's kind of like, well, I mean, you can get the shot on the iPhone, but I'm letting you know right now it's going to look very, very different. And if you're okay with that, then great, go for that. But if you want to look professional, the professionals are going to be able to see a difference.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and here's the thing: even the professional would take a better photo with the iPhone than that person. So it just kind of goes to show you that there's that double layer of skill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what makes our industry so tough, is that, man, the amount of creative people that are out there and the amount of talented people that's out there, I mean, it's absolutely just like unmatched on everything. Like, the issue is that they just like, it's so hard to make it right now. It is so hard to make it as kind of a full-time career on everything. And it's just kind of overall tough as a creator to build on everything. But also at the same time, it's up to the creator to figure that out of, okay, if all I can make are these $100 shoots, I got to figure out how to get up to 200 or 250 and kind of go from there.
Exactly. I guess you could say you got to whip up some business, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And speaking of whipping up, I see your shirt is called Chef on the Fly. So this is one of your clients that you do work for.
Yeah. So actually, I'm the CMO of it. So I'm actually a part owner of it. So I run Varnes Media. And then this was kind of a side startup that completely took on a whole brand of its own. It was super cool. And obviously, our mutual friend Brody, he's in it with,
no way. Yeah,
with
he
me.
was a former guest.
Yeah.
Twice,
Former guest twice on everything. So we're actually business partners on all of it. He is our CFO. He does such an awesome job. I used to be the COO. Now I've moved to the CMO route, and it's been going great on everything. So it's been fun to try to juggle both businesses at once.
Is it fun to shoot content for food making stuff, because you get that ASMR and you get like you can kind of smell the food through the phone, if you will.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. We focused on more of the chef on the fly on everything, but I'm actually the head photographer for Jacksonville magazine. So that's just a magazine back in Jacksonville, and I'm at a lot of different food shoots on everything, and it's an absolute blast. And perks, you get to eat the food afterwards.
That's always the best. Yeah, that's the thing. Like every shoot that I've done, they always go, "Oh yeah, get a plate." And I'm like,
yeah,
yes.
You're like, thank gosh, like it's so good.
Taking pictures can be very tiring, and that's one thing I don't think people realize. And weird question: have you ever heard of a place called Manila Thai?
Manila Thai, I have not. Do I need to go try it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All
Yeah.
right.
So my uncle's brother-in-law co-owns Manila Thai. It's a Filipino fusion restaurant.
And it's in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! All right. After the podcast, you need to remind me because I'll go try it tomorrow.
All right, excellent. I'll let JD know you're coming.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I love Thai food. There's one right down the street from the studio, and I eat it way too much.
Have you ever had Filipino?
I have not.
Oh, so you're in for a treat.
How's it different?
That is a good question. I don't know like specifically how it's different. I just know that
It's different and it's better.
I don't know about better per se because it's all depending on literal taste.
Yeah.
But I will say if you do go, see if they have any lechon, adobo chicken, and I guess that's a good place to start. Oh, and get lumpia as well. It's kind
Lumpia. Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, it's like I don't know how to describe it because it's not necessarily an egg roll and it's not necessarily a tamale. It's kind of like it's good.
Yeah,
A
I
wrap.
think I know what you're talking about. I'm definitely trying to. That is a downside of. So me and Brody, we're in this startup, but for chefs, obviously, I can't cook whatsoever. So the other two partners of which have been in the industry, one's for like 35 years, one for 20 years. They're talking about all these different things, and I'm like, I can make a really really good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like that's basically it. I can make chicken. I can make rice. I can do some mushrooms and some peppers. And
You can do some shrooms? What? I'm just kidding.
I can do some.
No wonder you're so creative.
Yeah, no wonder I'm so. Yeah, that's where all the juices start flowing on everything.
Yeah, that's right. Shh, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you're gonna get me demonetized on everything.
It's all right. You'll be able to creatively come up with one once you eat more of those shrooms. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah.
Mushrooms, because this guy has a sophisticated palate. There we go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite stuff that you tried during your shoots of these food places?
Oh man, I gotta think about that one. Like we've had a good amount. We did one with like an Italian restaurant that was super fancy and way out of my budget for actually going to eat there. It was so good. It had like lobster on it and everything like that. It was cool. But then like sometimes like you'll go to like a barbecue restaurant and they're bringing out like all the fixins and then it's like here you go and it's like oh beautiful.
Oh man. I'm great. I'm just hungry right now.
I know. I haven't eaten anything since like 11 o'clock this morning. We got to change the subject.
Yeah, man. Okay, I guess we gotta change the subject on the fly.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and like I said, on the fly. So you played basketball, right?
Yep. Mhm.
What position were you?
So I played point guard. It was a good time.
Has sports always been a major part of your life?
Yeah. Most of my life I played sports. Looking back on it, it really kind of consumed a lot of my time to the point to where when I stopped playing, I was like, what am I gonna do with these 8 hours on my hands? And that sent me down a whole new thing of just trying different things to kind of fill a void of what sports were in my life on everything. And I tried anything from, I did piano, I did guitar, I did pottery and sculpting. Obviously, photography was a part of that. I tried everything.
Wow, that is quite a smorgasbord of hobbies here.
Oh yeah, I'm not good at any of them, but I did try them.
Hey, that's all you gotta do. It's kind of like why they have the free samples at Costco. You gotta try them. And
exactly.
If you like it, you buy the whole box.
Exactly.
Although the best part is you can always get free samples, and it's not the same way when it comes to lessons.
Yep, very true. Well, luckily I learned YouTube University, man. YouTube University.
Yeah, YouTube is one of the great equalizers of the modern day.
They're right up there. You can't forget about ChatGPT now.
Oh, that's right, the AI writing software. So it's like part of me is impressed that this exists, but at the other side, or on the other hand,
oh, it's terrifying.
That's exactly it.
It's so terrifying to where I will use it just about every day as essentially just like a search engine, to where instead of like typing on like Google for something, I'll just be like, hey, give me 5 examples of how to create content for a client, and they're better than my ideas. And so I'm kind of sitting here just like, well, my job might be going out of business sooner rather than later.
See, actually, here's the thing about that. I actually think that even even though that, yes, I guess ChatGPT was able to understand the literal assignment, the thing, though, that machines kind of lack is the creativity that humans have in them. So if anything, we're kind of honing in on something that is saving our jobs.
See, here's the thing, though. This is like version 1. What happens when they get to like version 20?
I believe at that point, human flesh will meld with metal, so we will become...
We'll become cyborgs.
Yeah, super strength organism that will conquer the stars.
Absolutely, let's do it. If Elon says, do you want to be on the first spaceship to Mars, are you hopping on?
No. I'll take my chances here on Earth rather than take my chances on whatever he's got planned up there.
That's kind of where I am. I'm just like, I'll stay down here on everything. I like adventure, but I'm cool right here.
I'm okay with not too many adventures in my life, including one to Mars.
See, all right, what about the moon, though? Would you go to the moon?
That's a good question. To be quite honest with you, nah, because I don't want to put my body through all that stress exiting the atmosphere and having to go into that. Although zero gravity would be cool. What about you, though?
Oh, I would do it, honestly. I think it'd be cool and just hope we don't blow up or anything like that.
My question is, they always have such great camera footage from space. My question is, what do they do to the cameras to, make sure that it's space proof or space ready?
I think cameras they should still, run, the same way. The only difference would be, some sort of, pressuring system, I think, on everything.
That's all I'm thinking, because one thing that I know about phones, I learned this from a spring break trip, is phones, if it gets too cold, it'll stop working, but a camera will work just fine.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they work in space.
Oh, actually, now that I think...
Unless it was all fake. Dun, dun, dun.
Great, let's not go into that. Don't get me canceled. Well, that's fair. I almost got you canceled, so you almost get me canceled.
I know.
Now we're equal.
We're throwing each other under the bus.
But speaking of outrageous shoots and things being thrown under a bus, what was the most extreme shoot you've ever done?
Oh, I gotta call out my friend Eli Elmore on this one. So Eli is now one of the top photographers in Jacksonville. For ViStar Arena, he's the guy. He was at Blake Shelton concert last night. I have known Eli, though, since we were about 6 years old. And it just kind of by happenstance, we both ended up in the same industry. Well, I was around when Eli would get these amazing ideas and would drag us out to these abandoned buildings. And we would be hanging off of these just complete abandoned, places to where we can be falling falling off the roof, or very, very dangerous situations. And I do remember one time, and it wasn't me, but it was Eli saying, take this picture. And he was probably, 60 feet up and just went one-handed off the bar, just dangling. It was an awesome picture. I could send it to you when you're editing it to kind of overlay this one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that one definitely, I was like, oh, that's a rough one. And so yeah, those couple excursions to some abandoned locations that were not the safest. Those were definitely kind of the most out there ones.
Any haunted places?
We did go to Schoolhouse 4. I went to Schoolhouse 4, which is like a haunted location in Jacksonville. I wasn't with Eli on that one, but I did go with him and two other friends to Schoolhouse 8, which is another abandoned one, but Schoolhouse 4 is this nationally known abandoned location that's thought of to, have some haunted kids on something like that. Apparently there was some cellar that blew up and killed some kids. I don't know. That's the legend on everything. So
holy crap. It can be kind of a rowdy city, but then
it's a little rowdy.
Especially when it comes football season. I mean, this past year, your Jaguars did pretty well.
Man, we did great. I was able to get onto the field a couple times last year on everything. They did super good last year on everything. I'm excited for next season.
I was looking at your Insta. You got a picture of Gardner Minshew, I saw.
Oh, yeah. Way back when. So that one was, I think, the very first game I shot with the Jaguars.
Was this a legit time that you walked in, or was this a fake
This was legit. This was legit. So I don't think my fake media passes would have worked with that one on everything.
Okay, got it. Wait, question. The name of the owner, is it Sher Khan?
Shad Khan. Shad Khan with the greatest mustache of all time.
Absolutely. And he's from Syria or something like that.
He is from, I actually don't know.
He's from somewhere.
He's from somewhere, and he actually created bumpers for cars. That's pretty cool.
I always thought it was Sher Khan. I'm like, that's the name of the tiger from the
Jungle Book. Yeah.
Oh man, that was a. Have you ever seen the live action movie for that?
Yeah, it's a good one. I did that one, and they got Mowgli now too. They got two of them, two live action.
Oh, that's right. I never saw the second one.
Oh man, it's good. It's a little darker on everything. It's cool.
Interesting. But have you ever wanted to create content for any big names in your time?
So I have in the past. I've worked with a couple professional athletes, obviously like NFL player guys. I've worked with a couple pretty heavily involved bodybuilders that have millions of followers on everything. So
Did you film them while they were eating?
Yep. Yep, we definitely did an eating video.
So did you do like 10 sessions of eating
Sessions of
videos?
eating. So I've done that on the past. I'll be completely honest, man. I enjoy the business aspect of it over just being like an individual photographer. So I decided to kind of go that route on everything, and it's just kind of been a blast.
So weirdly enough, I've never heard of any conferences for content creators, at least videographers, because usually like even I was a part of a video production company that went to conventions to film the event, but it was at other events. I'm asking, like, have you ever heard of any events that would
I haven't. Actually, when I went with you to Podfest, that was the first ever convention I've ever been to. So
same here, or at least that was the first one that I ever been to as an attendee.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of any. I've heard of a couple of different like marketing ones that were similar. There's like one called AdCon 2 that's more for like content people and everything. But I think that might be the only one that's really speaking to like creators.
Got it. So if conferences are not a way for content creators to link up with each other, what have been some other resources that you have just in case you wanted to collab? Or or do you collab from people that you just met along the route?
Man, Instagram. You're just commenting, "Hey man, I'm a creator too. I love your stuff. What do you shoot with?" That's how you make connections. You can build a whole personal relationship off of Instagram or any social media.
So when you comment, do you just comment on other photographers, or do you just comment on like people that just make content that makes you happy?
Yeah, I mean both. If they did some awesome work, I'm usually shooting them a comment or shooting them a DM and just saying, "Hey, that was super cool. That was an awesome piece of work you did there."
Nice. Yeah, I've been trying to do that a little bit more too, because more than Instagram, just on YouTube, for some odd reason, reading the comments is sometimes more fun than the actual content itself. Yeah. Especially if it's really funny, the comments can go off. And sometimes I feel like there's one comment that I'm like waiting to see, but that I don't see it, and so I have to type it in myself. And so I guess that kind of just completes that part of the puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can build a whole community.
What does building a community mean to you?
Oh. So I have this thing called like Find Your 10. So if you want to grow on Instagram, you need to find like 10 people. And I always give like the sorority girl example to where when
Did
like
you say 10 or 10?
10, like number 10.
Okay, got it. For some odd reason, I thought you said find your tin, like, no. Like, are you telling these people to dip tobacco? Or I'm just kidding.
Don't find your 10 man or whatever that is. Yeah, find your like 10 as in like your 10 people that you can count
sorority?
On. Yeah, so think of like when you think of like the sorority girls when they post how they have like every single one of their friends that are like commenting like yes girl or queen. You know the post that I'm talking about, and they always do really well on Instagram, but that's because Instagram's seeing all these people are commenting, and it's because
they're feeding into each other's algorithms.
Yeah, they're basically like boosting each other up. So like first of all, find your first like 10 people to where like you can comment on all their stuff, but like when you post, you could count on them to kind of comment on your stuff too. And that could be anything from other creators to just like have like your mom. I don't care. Like for just find anything 10 people and kind of build from there.
How do you feel when bots are involved?
I hate bots. So as a content creation person, people will come to me and be like, "Hey, yeah, I got 50,000 followers," and then I'll look in it and it takes me 10 seconds to figure out, "Oh, you got 50,000 followers, but you get 10 likes a photo." There's a big issue there. I hate when people run bots to social medias or to any sort of SEO work. I just think it's just like cheating.
Fair enough, but like sometimes, I will get like a lot of a lot of likes on something, but I just post the hashtags and it just so happens that a lot of bots follow, and I'm just like, I don't know where these bots are coming from, but thanks, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think with that, it kind of is what it is with the social media side. I'm definitely more talking about people that are just like paying for them.
Okay, yeah, because I was about to say, like, I didn't pay for any of it. It just kind of happened. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of people that are like paying for them now.
Just imagine like what you would have to do to like be in the mindset of having to pay for that. Yeah. Like, is it that you have to look like you have a certain number? Like, I don't know the philosophy behind that.
Yeah, it's just status. That's all. You just want to have a higher status.
So I know that like you mentioned Elon Musk before, and kind of relating back to this. You know how you could buy the verification, and I hear on, is it Facebook or Instagram. Some other platform is.
I think it's Instagram now. Yeah.
Exactly. That will allow you to buy your verification or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm kind of indifferent about it. I think it's just going to water it down dramatically. So if you want to pay for it, great. If not, I mean, in all honesty, eventually I'll probably be paying for one just to have it. So, I mean, I think it's good because the company's going to be making money off of it, essentially off of doing nothing but putting a blue check mark. But I don't think that it's going to hold its value, as obviously more and more people are going to be paying whatever the 10 or $20 a month for it.
It's not as great of a feeling because there's no like.
Yeah, there's no achievement. You just, you bought it. You did something that anybody else could do.
So my question is like, do you know the process of how people would get verified now, though?
Yeah. So it's honestly pretty simple. Essentially, you submit an application. So
really?
Yeah, that's literally it. And all they have to go into is seeing, okay, is this person big enough to where their name could be copied on everything? So a lot of friends of mine that I've worked with, to where as soon as they're looking to like enter the NFL draft on everything, during the kind of training protocols on everything, they're getting their Instagram like verified. Like that's one of like the little like steps on everything. So
I always see those players getting instantly verified right before right around draft time.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that currently went in the draft?
This upcoming draft, I know a few of them. Kind of keeping that on the down low though.
Okay,
So
that's fair. Hey, listen, you don't have to reveal anything that you don't want to, but can you name any of the past ones though?
I mean, just people that I've like worked out with a good amount of, I mean, so for one, I want to give a shout out to one that like when I very first time getting started on everything. His name's Chris Jones. He's kind of going around right now. He's now in the XFL, but he played. I don't know if you like saw the story, but his dad died morning of, and he played in the game, and obviously kind of went around ESPN and this kind of showcases it. But man, he was one of the originals that I was able to kind of get content for on everything. And some of the old Jags players like, Keelan Cole, DJ Chark.
Oh, Chark.
Yeah, some of those guys. I mean, I've shot, Mac Jones. I've shot, I'm trying to think.
Wait, you shot Mac Jones? You don't sound like a very good photographer. I'm just kidding. Actually, that kind of reminds me. There was this one show called Deadliest Warrior on Spike TV.
Man, I used to love that show.
Wait, so this was in the episode, it was like CIA or FBI versus KGB, and then they showed like the gun like hiding in the camera. Yeah. So I don't know, just the way you said that kind of reminded me of, just like smile, bang.
Man, I used to love that show. I'd like they do all like the train, they like see like who wins the scales on everything. So
it's such a testosterone filled show. I loved it.
It was awesome.
Yeah, actually, have you ever seen 300?
Yeah.
So actually, previously on the show, I had a guy. He's the co-president of a film company out in LA. It's the one that makes the Expendable movies. And so turns out one of his groomsmen was actually Gerard Butler.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot how they met specifically. I think it was I think they met because his company was also the company that made like the Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen series, and so that's how they got connected and whatnot.
Okay, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that media has a great way of bringing people together.
Man, absolutely.
And so, actually, I just thought of something. What was the best reaction you've seen from a client?
Oh, I gotta go with some wedding pictures. Like when I show like a bride, which is kind of funny because I really don't like shooting weddings. But it's always nice to like show them and like they're just like freaking out of like how they look on everything, and like their bridesmaids are always like freaking out. Those are always really really fun to shoot on everything. Or you get like a catch or something like that that's just like a really good football play, and you kind of get like right in the action. And like seeing like high schoolers' reactions of like how they're looking in that picture, that's always a blast.
Yeah, because they probably feel like this is the picture that I'm gonna use my profile picture for a long time.
Oh yeah, like they're on top of the world.
Yeah, but think about it. You're the one that took that.
Yeah.
It's like you're Annie Leibovitz, but for a high schooler. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. You changed that kid's life.
Hey, I'll take it.
What was a moment in your career or, in this journey of yours that you actually heard that your media changed someone's life?
Dang. There's a specific story. I got a picture of somebody's grandparents and the daughter of the grandparent on everything. So my friend's mom. I mean, I remember her seeing that, and she was saying like this is like the shot. Like this is the shot that embodies who they are as individuals. And so it's moments like that to where you essentially, like, I used to have the tagline that was in our company, and it was, we turn moments into memories, to where we can take a specific picture picture, and you're going to see it, and it's going to bring you back to some specific feeling, some specific memory in time.
That's a beautiful thing. And I kind of see being photographers, not just being someone who just clicks a button and, gets a picture. You're kind of a historian at the same time, because that's literally a snapshot of a piece of time that's never coming back.
Absolutely. I mean, it's, everybody talks about a picture, tells 1,000 words.
Wouldn't it be funny if, it was some of your photos that, after all of humanity ceased to exist, that the aliens look at and they go, this is a very interesting elderly couple?
That'd be pretty awesome. I mean, so I was doing a shoot for Jacksonville magazine, though, a little while back, and we were doing one of the historical houses. The picture of the house was taken way back in, the early 1900s. And this is going back to, the original, Swisher Sweets, the wrap company. Mm-hmm. So this was their house.
Oh,
so
really?
So they're from Jack. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I was, in their house. And funny enough, the guy that lives in there now is a judge.
Really?
So, but yeah, I was scrolling through some of their stuff, and there was a shot from earlier 1900s of someone that had taken a shot of the house that was I don't know, one of pristine houses in Florida. And I was thinking, I was like, this is a picture that's in history, to where for however many people that are going to be in this house, which it's now a historical house, so it's not going to be torn down. That picture is going to be here for history.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's kind of no one will be able to remember some random guy from 1918 New York. Not saying he's from 1918 New York, but Frank Sinatra. Everybody still listens to his music nowadays.
Yeah.
And that music is seen as our grandparents' era.
Yeah. So in our studio, we have a wall, and it basically is just a bunch of famous old photos of Jacksonville. So I have shots of the skyscrapers downtown being built. I have some of the one of the very first malls, their opening day shot. I have this weird dinosaur that has been around since the 70s, and it's this staple in Jacksonville now, just a picture of that. And it just kind of goes to show that it brings you back to a different time when you see photos like that.
Excellent. Yeah, it's beautiful what pictures can do. And yeah, and I'm just so glad that you take such great ones that now you eventually made it a full, not just pictures, but the full-on media spectrum. So great for you, Andy.
Man, I appreciate it.
Of course. And I think that now I'm going to cut off the cameras. And if you don't need to do anything else, we'll go into the bonus question round.
All right, let's do it.
Excellent. Andy, thank you again for taking some of your very busy time to join us on the show. And, we found out so much about you during the meat of the episode. But now we're coming into my favorite part of any Big DK Energy episode, which is the bonus question round. 10 questions that you do not know about, but are still appropriate enough that you'll still have clients at the end of it.
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Of course, man. We all got to eat out here. You know what I mean?
We're trying.
Absolutely. So with that being said, are you ready, Mr. Varnes?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Excellent. So question number 1. You're doing your dream collab. Who is it with, and what's being advertised?
Ooh, okay. I love this guy named Alex Hermosi. So I would, if I could do a collab with him and do a video for him. And funny enough, I almost did. I almost got onto his editing team on everything.
Really?
Yeah, like way back when they were looking for editors, and just schedules didn't line up on everything. But if I could ever shoot and film with him, that'd be awesome.
Awesome, man. What product are you advertising?
Him. I think so. He just gives these value, business value tips on everything, and the videos are just cool videos. So that would be him. But all right, now if I could do a product though, it would probably be something tropical islands or something like that, for some sort of celebrity. I've always wanted to take the drones out and shoot down there and everything.
That'd be pretty cool to be on Drake's yacht or something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be pretty sick. Question number 2. The Jaguars give you the opportunity to lead their social media team for one game, and you get to travel with them. So who are the Jags playing, and if it's an away game, what city is it in?
Ooh, okay. So, all right, well, I guess Tom Brady, he's already retired on everything. Honestly, I got to go Kansas City Chiefs. Super Bowl champions, get to shoot Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. That's who I'm choosing, man.
Would you do it here in Jax or in Kansas?
I got to say in Kansas, just because I got to hear what Arrowhead Stadium's like.
I wonder if it's Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas, actually. So
it's Missouri.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so that's what I meant. Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, yeah. Sweet. With that being said, question number 3. Dream vacation and itinerary.
I'd love to go to South Africa and do safaris, go down there. Obviously, you got the beaches on everything, but Africa's definitely a big dream vacation to go out there and just simply explore.
There's a content creator that you should follow. He's a guy that I rushed with named Andrew Sims. He does traveling photography, But before he went into that, he did a little trip to Africa. I forgot where. I think it was Kenya, and he did some wildlife stuff. So I think you should check some of that stuff out as like, just an idea of what you
Oh
would do.
man, absolutely.
You got a pretty good shot of, I believe it was a lion or an elephant. No, it was an elephant. That's what it was. So, question number 4. What's the ultimate goal for Varnes Media?
Ultimate goal for Varnes Media is building it into a $500,000 company doing content creation for mainly businesses around Jax that are doing between 1 to 5 million per year.
Excellent. Question number 5. You're having drinks with 3 of your favorite content creators. Who are they, and what's one aspect of media they can help you on?
Ooh, I gotta bring Gary V in on it with me. I gotta bring Alex Shimozy into it. I know I've already brought him up on everything. Thirdly, I almost want to just like throw Grant Cardone in there simply because like that's going to be a very interesting conversation. You might see like a fight break out. I don't even know. Honestly, I would probably go like Logan or Jake Paul just because that would be a pretty interesting conversation.
That really would be. And what's one piece of media advice that they would help you with?
Probably the way they reach audiences. That would be pretty cool.
For all 3 or just Jake and Paul?
I think for all 3 about how they can build a following organically. Because all 3 of them are very, very good at that.
Got it. Question number 6. You're creating a music festival for your favorite charity. Who's the charity and who are 6 of the performers?
St. Jude's Children's Hospital is by far my favorite charity on everything. And then the 6 performers? All right, let me think here. I'm bringing J. Cole in there. Controversial right now, but I got to throw Travis Scott in there because that's going to be a crazy show.
Hopefully not too crazy. We've seen how that goes.
Not too crazy. I gotta go obviously with Drake in there. You know what? I'm making this a fun show. I'm throwing Miley Cyrus in there because I'll be honest, Flowers. Banger. Maybe she can even like start singing some old Hannah Montana songs. I mean, Pardon the USA. Some throwbacks.
Oh, she'll draw in quite a crowd, I'll say that.
Oh man, absolutely. And then you know what? I'm just gonna go like way out in the park on everything. I'm bringing in for like the last thing.
Oh, you get 2 more.
Oh, I get 2 more?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think on this one. Okay, I'm bringing in Beyonce. I gotta bring in Beyonce, and then one more, Carrie Underwood.
Okay, sweet.
Throwing in Carrie Underwood in there.
Actually, now that I realize that was balanced, 3 guys, 3 girls.
Yeah, 3 guys, 3 girls.
Okay.
What a crazy concert.
Now I'm gonna give you an either or. Since it's Jacksonville, Leonard Skinner or Limp Bizkit.
Oh, Leonard Skinner all the way.
It's got to end off with Freebird.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. Question number 7. Someone loved your studio so much, they decided to throw you unlimited money so that you can start another one. Assuming it's your dream studio, describe how you would build it out and where would it be?
Okay, so I'm building it out by the beach, and it'd actually be a coffee shop and a studio like combined into one. And so you'd have like a coffee shop like in the front, then you'd have kind of like a wall behind kind of blocking it, but you can kind of go around both sides, and you'd have like a photography studio in the back of it. And in the back of it, you're obviously going to have like a cyclorama wall on everything. You're going to have probably a podcast studio to the side, maybe 1 or 2 of them. And then you're going to have kind of like almost like a movie set on everything. So it's going to be like half cyclorama wall, like all white wall. The other half that's going to be like, you can do like whatever backdrops and whatever, like other photo studio behind there.
That's pretty sick.
I thought about that one.
Oh man, I love that. And would it still be in Jacksonville or would you have it somewhere else?
Oh, good question. I've always envisioned it in Jacksonville, just putting it out like Jacksonville Beach on everything. But you know, Atlanta, honestly, I'd put one in Atlanta. I bet that'd be cool.
And that's such a huge hub for content creation.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be used. I'll know that for a fact. Question number 8. You're allowed to hang out with any one Jaguar player for a whole 24 hours anywhere in the world. Who is it and where do you go?
I'll go Trevor. We'll go chill at the beach for the day.
Okay.
You know.
Nice.
Throw the football around.
Simple but sweet.
So funny enough, the college that I went to was about 30 minutes from where he went to high school.
Oh, no way.
And so, yeah, so when I went up there, they were like, oh man, there's this kid like 30 minutes away. He's like this crazy good quarterback. So I'm like a year older than him. He's like this crazy good quarterback. I'm like, nah, like Florida football is different. Florida football is just better. And of course, like who would I know? Like, okay, like that would be him, you know,
yeah,
of course.
Well, you know, every one of those kids seem like little punk kids until they actually hit the big stage.
Yeah, you know, I saw him. I saw the hair. I'm like, oh man, you bring him to Duval, like it'll be different. Nope.
Yeah, he's thriving. We're doing
no,
pretty
he's
well.
He's doing pretty good. Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
Got it. Because I'm 5'8", I would hang out with Jones Drew. Because
oh man, that'd be cool. Oh wait, I can do anybody in history. I'll stick with Trevor, man.
Okay, question number 9. Give me a far-fetched goal on your bucket list.
I would one day like to open up a school or a charity or a facility for kind of underprivileged youth, maybe a gym, something to where you can impact them day to day. You know, if I could open up a basketball gym and have kids come in there and just like work out and learn basketball or some sort of place.
I hope that you achieve that goal. And Andy, we're having such a great time that we're already actually at the last question.
Man, I like the questions though. You did a great job with these questions.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And so this question is the same, but the answers always vary. And that is, what is your best, most recent accomplishment?
Most recent accomplishment.
If you can't think of one, then give me one personal and one professional.
Okay. I'm thinking professional here. We will do over 6 figures in 2023. That's good. So that's 6 figures for Varnes Media Company, and then I'm gonna stick with that one because we got another one in play, but we'll see what happens with that one. So
all right, excellent. Well, Andy, you've been a great guest. Again, I know that you probably should be editing some piece of content right now, but I'm glad that you but you gave me some of your time to be on the show. I really felt like I learned a lot from this episode.
Man, I appreciate that, man. This was awesome. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. And so, Andy, for joining the show and telling my audience what it is like to be in the media industry and how you can get your feet wet, that's a reason why I think you, Andy Varnes, have big DK energy.
Thank you, man.
Always. Okay, folks, and so we're going to put all of his social media links in the description box below. We'll even put the website for his studio. And Andy, is there anything else you'd like to say or promote before we head out?
Man, thank you so much for having me on. Check out the YouTube channel. Trying to grow that out just a little bit, so seeing how that goes. So let me know what you think about that.
Excellent. So without further ado, I'm Danny K of the Big DK Energy Podcast, and we are signing off.
Awesome.